gift list. Pick up the red Moto Razr and you can get powerful features like live TV, wireless music downloads, GPS, and the power to give back. Because when you purchase the red Moto Razr at a Sprint store, a contribution will be made to help eliminate AIDS in Africa. The power to give the ultimate gift. Sprint. Power up.
Tonight, he may be the angriest man in America.
Did you not listen to him talk?
But when this guy unloads,
What the is that about? What the is that about?
everybody laughs. Lewis Black, an equal opportunity offender who's funny as hell.
I don't know what's gonna happen. There could be giant ticks everywhere. We don't know. Run, scurry, flee, flee.
And is here for the hour. Next on Larry King Live. Famous producer George Slaughter once told me about a comic he knew that he thought we ought to use at our Larry King Cardiac Foundation dinner. I had not heard of Lewis Black. George told me you would love him. Not only do I love him, he's one of my favorite people on the planet. Lewis Black stars in Comedy Central's upcoming special Last Laugh 06. He's in the new movie Unaccompanied Minors, commentator on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, and he's the New York Times best-selling author of Nothing Sacred. How did all this happen for you,
The anger?
anger, this stuttering anger?
Well, it started when I was young, and then and it's always kind of been a part of my personality, but...
So it's your personality?
It's, you know, it was me by about the time I was 15, and...
You get mad in class?
I'd get mad, and, I mean, a lot of it, you know, it was where I was funniest. You know, something would happen that would just, like, you gotta be kidding me. You know, the principal would do something, or that thing which I talk about all the time, you know, they said, you know, they would say get under the desk in case of a nuclear attack, and you know, part of my brain just saw red, and then so I never really for years I was doing comedy and I was terrible, and I could write funny and I knew I was funny, but something was missing, and then I realized a guy told me one night, another comedian, Dan Ballard said. He said, you know, I'm yelling on stage and I'm not angry, and you're angry and you're not yelling. So when you go back on stage, start yelling. And it was like a door opening.
And it worked?
It worked. It's worked pretty well. I'm getting away with murder.
You do all your own material?
Yeah.
You write all your own material?
About 98% of it, yeah. How
do you like being hot?
It's, you know, it's...
I mean, you're hot.
It's different. It's different when you've been, you know.
What was the break?
There's a few things that came together. I did a lot of Conan O'Brien's. They were really kind. They just said, come on whenever you want. So I was going on Conan's show every 6 weeks. The Daily Show had just started about the same time. So I started doing that. And between those two, it began to and then I was running around the country like, you know, from every comedy club.
And the NFL, you got the NFL?
Now we're doing, Inside the NFL.
HBO.
Yeah. And that's actually written by my friend, the guy who opens for me, John Bowman. He actually, we work on that together, but he really writes.
Now, when you go on these shows, you have all prepared material?
Yeah, for those.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Inside the NFL.
For Conan, you have prepared material?
Yeah, they're pretty. They give me a certain amount of latitude, you know, because I don't know where I'm going to end sometimes, because I'm not really good with. All those shows are 5 minutes. They need 5 minutes, and I'm not used to 5 minutes because really, my rev doesn't really get in. I don't get into second gear.
Let's discuss some things in the news, or semi in the news, and get your thoughts. The buzz about Danny DeVito's loopy appearance on The View this week.
He snapped, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did you see?
What was that? Was he drunk?
I think he was drunk. You know, and if not, he probably didn't sleep a lot. And it's like one of those things where they kind of, you know, it's that, I think it's that thing, you know, I don't know how many interviews he'd been doing, but when you reach that point where you've done about 20 and he wasn't on one of the smaller interviews, but now he's on a main stage, because people now kind of watch that show because it's so insane now with Rosie. The whole mix is completely, you know, different than it was before, and so they're all watching. And I thought, and there's that thing where they just kind of, you know, he started talking about Bush, and he obviously has a certain amount of disdain, and he just snapped. And I understand it in part because, you know.
You ever snap?
so far, so good. You know, you get, you know, I tell you, well, you know this, you're under the scrutiny. It's like they jump on anything. You know, what Danny did was really, so it's funny. It's not like the end of the world. It was kind of silly. Gee, he was drunk. Nobody ever gets drunk. It wasn't like he was driving a truck on the show and, you know, drove into the audience. So you kind of go, you know, but there's so much scrutiny. I really try to keep it, you know, I try to keep really conscious of what's coming out of my mouth. I've said some things when I go back and look at certain interviews. I go, oh, I can't believe I said that. But I'm kind of still under the radar of the mainstream in a way. So it's
You are
I'm
now
lucky.
mainstream, aren't you?
Yeah, which is a
it's
sad
weird.
commentary on our lives, isn't
What do
it?
you make of Michael Rich's racist thing? What was
That was I couldn't watch you know, when they've got that video, and I can't watch it. It brings back so many memories of being in a club for me, of just that, you know, of an audience that you know, the audience has smelled. As soon as the audience smells blood, goodbye. Okay, because then it's like Shark Time. They just come at you, you panic. I've been in those situations time and time again. And
Really?
Well, early on,
They come at you.
Oh boy, if you don't maintain the confidence, I call it. There's a kind of quality to comedy, like the Dale Carnegie School of Comedy, I call it. And there's a whole group of comics who basically are kind of funny, but they get away with it because they're really confident. And you should be laughing because I think it's funny, and people, you know, go, yeah, he thinks it's funny. It's got to be funny, but then these and you have to maintain that facade of confidence no matter what, because if that facade drops, it's just like the audience goes, okay, that's it. You're not leading us properly, and they go nuts. And that room is a tough room. The Laugh Factory is a very tough room. The guys that I talk to, all of us who talked about it together, my friends who do stand-up, all said, you know, that's not a room I want.
And
to be
he's
in.
not a stand-up.
I don't know why is he doing it. Why would you put yourself in that room? If I was him, I would have bought a room and done shows there, and put even cardboard people out.
How about this new thing on the N-word? Everybody's now against the N-word. Good idea, though, right?
And Ron, I guess.
And Ron.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's once again, it all depends on, you know. Okay, let's get rid of the word. It depends. You know, there's going to be a comic somewhere within 2 years who comes around the corner again and picks up something that will put it in a context that is seriously funny again. But for now, you know, okay, it's on the shelf. I don't use the word.
You never have you?
No, never used that word.
No,
There's a whole bunch of words, you know, because we were talking about this earlier. I can work clean and I can work.
I know, you work both ways.
And I work both ways because, you know, when I'm in a room filled with adults, you know, like a theater or a club, I feel it's fine. You know, people know what they're getting into. It's, you know that an adult is speaking to an adult. You can use those words. Anywhere else, because this country would panic if you and I used bad words on this show. Do you realize what would happen? People would just be jumping out of windows. Did you hear what he said? He said a bad word, and they'd be flipping out. So there's a whole bunch of words that that you don't use to begin with. A lot of them.
George Collins, 7 words you can't
say on television. You put them in the lockbox.
Coming up on Larry King Live, why Lewis Black wants evangelical Christians not to buy his book. Stick around.
Look at airport security. Been in place since 9/11, and they're no better now than the day they started. You know how hard you have to work to be that stupid? How is that possible? They just sent 21 fake bombs through 21 airports. Successfully! All of them! Every one! They didn't even get 1 or 2!
At Fred Meyer and Littman Jewelers, this 1-carat total weight diamond ring is $595. But during our 3-day sale, save $396 and pay only $199.
For all those special times.
Fred Meyer and Littman Jewelers.
Welcome to a network where being here is being there. Welcome to the Human Network.
The doctor came in. I was still waking up from anesthesia. He leaned over my bed and he said, "Laura, you have cancer." And he walked out of the room. The first thought is, what's going to happen to my children? I knew I was ready to fight this, and I just wanted this cancer out of me. I wanted to take care of it and move on. Then my mom called me. She had seen an ad on TV for Cancer Treatment Centers of America. It was just a tremendous experience from the minute that I walked in the door. Their bedside manner, it's just, you just can't even describe it. It takes a very special person to do what they're doing.
Our cancer information specialists are here for you day and night. Call now and they'll send you this free DVD showing you how these special hospitals combine state-of-the-art medicine and unique therapies with the most compassionate care you'll experience anywhere.
I wanted to live to see my kids grow up. That's what gave me the drive to fight cancer. They supported that in me. They gave me choices. They made me realize that every life is worth saving. You can't fight cancer if you don't have hope.
Monday night at 8, radioactive hotspots all over London. More mystery in the death of the Russian spy. Where did he go before he died? Was anyone else exposed? The eye-opening story Monday night, 8 Eastern.
Monday on 360, it is a nuclear whodunit with a Cold War chill. A who killed the former Russian agent with radioactive poison? The daring crime, horrifying death, a growing investigation. Poison plot, the killing of a spy. Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern.
All the 24-hour cable services clutter their screen with an array of horse. I mean, there is just stuff. There's a rabbit wiping himself in the corner, and oh, and here's the stock report, which is basically telling you somebody's making a lot of money, and it's not you.
Let's get into some things like that really gets you angry. You don't like The Crawl.
Well, The Crawl
is on right now. You don't like it.
No, they'll get this. Right, Louis Black, Daily Show commentator. What do they need that? You're not. Well, you need to know who it is that's speaking to you. Are you going to panic about who is this guy? Well, you know, they used to. I was the first time I did it. I'm yelling and screaming on CNN. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Who's watching? You're like 7 people, a bunch of shut-ins. They got to put. And I'm yelling and screaming because I'm yelling about The Crawl, and and I'm going, get rid of it. Get rid of it. And they go, Louis Black is an angry comic. He comes on the screen. And I go, how dumb do you think the audience is? I'm sitting here being angry. You don't paying attention? And what I started to do was, because they wouldn't take it off, and they went, how mad can he get? Look at, see? How mad? How mad can I get? Don't even try it. How mad can I get?
How mad can you
get?
Oh,
I can get really, it can get scary. It can get scary. Well, I got so ticked off at what they were doing, I started reading The Crawl. They would ask a question and I would read what was on the bottom. Because apparently it's so important. At least they don't drag it across yours. It's like, why compete with yourself?
I think it's on. We don't see it, right?
Is it on?
Is it on now? It's on.
It's on.
Yeah, we just don't see it.
Because look.
There it is, look.
Yeah, look at this. The last reservoirs of the disease. Excellent. You just missed it. Now you're in total panic. What disease? Where? Where's the disease? They got to put that, I mean, what? It's not, does CNN not trust us to kind of maintain interest? That they go, oh, well, Larry's interesting, but ooh, look below Britney Spears. You can see her underwear on Channel 37. Why do they have to do that? Why? And it was done initially after 9/11 to get the information. Well, we don't need that much information. People turn on the TV so they don't have to read. That's the whole concept. That's why it works.
That's television. Replace that.
Yeah. That was the idea, and now they're making it a reading screen, and I can't stand it.
What do you have against evangelical Christians reading your book?
I just think first off, they'll start, invoking the devil against me. I just don't want people wasting their time. And
you're helping them by telling them.
Exactly. This is go do something else. Go check something else.
Do evangelical Christians annoy you?
Well, they not unless they come up to me and start going, I'm Jewish, and they start trying to convert me. What I find annoying is this whole thing about certain stand, the gay marriage stance makes me psychotic because it's not really, it's not in the Bible. Stop it. You know, I'm Jewish. It's our book. It's the Old Testament is ours. It's ours. It's not theirs. It's our book. The Christians, the book wasn't good enough for the Christians, was it, Larry? No, they said, no, this book isn't good enough for us. We've got a better book with a great new character. You're going to love this guy. And so it's our book. So let us, if you want to know, if the evangelical Christians really want to understand what's in the book, you know, ask us. We're everywhere. We wander the streets. A Jew will take any amount of time out of their day to spend time with an evangelical Christian who has a question about the Bible, and will answer that question if the price is right. No, but yeah, it's unbelievable that frozen embryo thing. Now, how can you say that's a religious? You can't. It's not a religious issue. In what book of the Bible was anything frozen?
You're talking about stem cell? Or?
Stem cell, the frozen embryo.
Yeah.
But they're talking about these frozen embryos, they're alive. They're alive. The president says they're alive. They're frozen. They're frozen. What part of the word frozen don't you understand? It's frozen. It means too cold to move, doesn't it? Is it mentioned in the Bible? Anywhere in the mention, is there any mention in the Bible of refrigeration? No. So you can't possibly at any time say, oh, you know, what God says. No, God doesn't say. God in the Bible, in the Old Testament, did not know, he didn't even see freezers coming. And you know what I did? I actually, since the president thinks they're alive, I've adopted frozen embryos, and I put them in my freezer, and every so often I open it up and go, you kids, stop it, because I want to be a good father, and I'm actually going to take them as a tax write-off. And if it works, if I can get it by the feds the first time, I'm going to adopt hundreds of them. I may get a whole, you remember the old amount of freezer where they used to put, you could buy a cow and dump it in? Well, I'm going to have 1 billion of them in there.
When we come back, who makes for better comedy material, Dems on the left or Republicans on the right? We'll ask the expert. Don't go away.
If you are inspired by either George Bush or Bill Clinton, then you were probably inspired by your high school principal. I'll tell you why Clinton and Bush aren't great leaders, okay? It's that simple. Neither of them took responsibility for anything. None of them. They're unbelievable. They post it and then they go, well, I don't. They are exactly the same group of assholes that when I was a kid told me in case of a nuclear attack to hide under my desk.
Humor is very important to us. We both love to laugh. I find that I make her laugh even when I'm not trying to. So.
Find everything you're looking for on eHarmony.com. It all starts with your personality profile. $50 value free.
Let me tell you about a very important phone call I made. When I got my Medicare card, I realized I needed an AARP Medicare Supplement insurance card, too.
One simple call gave me the chance to talk with a personal health insurance advisor
who answered all my questions about Medicare Supplement plans.
If you're already on or eligible for Medicare, call now to find out how an AARP Medicare Supplement insurance plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company, helps you pay some of the 20% of your medical expenses not covered by Medicare Part B. That can save you thousands of dollars. These are the only Medicare Supplement insurance plans exclusively endorsed by AARP, a name you trust. When you call now, we'll send you this free information kit, plus this free guide to understanding Medicare.
I can keep my own doctor and choose my own hospital.
and I don't need a referral to see a specialist.
Call 1-800-673-4168 now. A personal health insurance advisor is waiting.
Lou Dobbs, now on weekends.
It's time for answers 7 nights a week.
Lou Dobbs, now on weekends. CNN Saturday and Sunday night, 6 Eastern.
Your fireplace adds so much to your home, and Gordon's can add even more. Gordon's Fireplace Shop and Home Decor. Selection second to none. Glass screens, fire accessories, high-efficiency natural gas fireplaces, plus home furnishings that will add to the warmth of your home. Portland's finest selection of fireplace screens, gas logs, and gas fireplaces on sale today. Everything for your fireplace. Gordon's Fireplace Shop and Home Decor. Open 7 days a week.
Star Wars, for the first time ever. All 6 movies, all in high def, ready when you are. Only on Cinemax and Cinemax On Demand. Order now to see the entire Star Wars saga. See each movie when you want, as often as you like. All in spectacular HD. Only with Comcast Digital Cable. If you have Cinemax and HD from Comcast Digital Cable, go to Channel 1. If you don't, call 1-888-COMCAST to subscribe now.
Robert F. Kennedy's assassination with eyewitnesses and Bobby film stars. Larry King tomorrow.
About 6 months ago, I was home alone watching the president speak on television. So it was just really the two of us. And as I listened to him, I realized that one of us was nuts.
Politics. One of your favorite themes, is it not? Yes.
By accident, really, because...
What do you mean?
Well, because it's, you know, now they're just providing, you know, I don't even have to write stuff anymore. It's
You mean
like,
they're their own material?
Well, you know, that thing, I wondered what joke do you write for when you pick up the paper and it says Senator Mark Foley or Congressman Foley, who works on the committee to deal with laws involving sexual predators, is a sexual predator. Now, what possibly, how am I going to add to that? The punchline is written, it's perfect. And it's happening, and it's real. It doesn't get any better than that. What joke? Well, you can make us a joke about, oh, the instant messages, but everything else is gilding the lily. That's the joke. And I didn't have to do any work.
And does it make you angry, though?
Yeah, it makes me insane. It makes me really insane. You know, or like, you know, the other great line, Vice President Cheney, who shot his friend in the face while quail hunting. That was my favorite line of the whole year. Because that...
Of the year?
Well, I think of this year, yes. I laughed so hard I actually fell off my chair and milk came out of my nose. And I don't drink milk anymore. So.
And so there's nothing humorous to say about that other than that.
What do you say? You know, except that I use it to explain how we got into Iraq. You know.
How do you mean?
Well, because you know, look, when you're hunting, you're hunting a line here. You know, he's hunting quail, which is nuts to begin with. That's like saying, oh, I'm going to go fishing and go into a goldfish bowl and then go, look, I got it. You know, he's hunting quail on a farm with a fence around it. Oh, look, we got the deer in the corner. Boy, that's hunting. You want to hunt, you do what they do in Wisconsin. You wander through people's backyards, you shoot things at will. I got a quilt. Look, I got 2 quilts today. If he's here and let's say his friend is there and the target's here, you tell me how did he shoot him? Now, they want to go into Iraq, but who ends up having the weapons of mass destruction? Iran. It's Iran and Iraq. So what? The CIA didn't know the difference between an N and a Q? So I think they were lined up thinking they were going into Iran, and then it turned out to be Iraq.
So that was a mistake.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think, this whole thing is the most massive mistake I've seen in my lifetime. This whole idea that, well, we got rid of Saddam. Yeah, at this point, you could put Saddam back in charge. And we would be just as far ahead as we're going to be trying to be with them that group that's coming up. They got 9 different commissions, and he's still going, well, we're going to stay I don't know, but we're going to order pizza, we're going to get some Jell-O, but we're going to try, and the guy doesn't even, the head of the country doesn't even come to dinner. What is the matter with us? But you take this, you knew, it's like with Tito. How do you not know? I'm a moron, okay? And yet I knew if you're going to take, when you and Tito, who kept them all together? If you look at that as the model.
Yugoslavia together, right.
Yeah, I mean, these are people who just hate each other's guts. It's like a group of people who just like, they disturb each other. Same thing as you got in Iraq. You got this lunatic who's in charge, who's like just, wiping out people willy-nilly, and apparently scares them enough so they actually act civil to each other. And then we go, okay, get rid of him, and then we don't know how to teach him manners.
Let's discuss some political figures.
Oh,
Hillary Clinton.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Ooh, it's exhausting. I can't live through that again. Can't she wait a while? Can't she just wait a while? Can't she just do other stuff and continue to learn things? Do we have to go to this now? Do I got to go live through this again? We've already lived through the chapters. Look, everybody wants Bill. Okay, well, we'll take Hillary. She's not going to win. She's not going to win. I'm not crazy. I travel all over the country. They just aren't going to. I don't think they're going to do it. I mean, God love the Democrats, but they got Hillary and Obama. So here's a tremendous kind of a thing. It would be great in the best of all possible worlds if you could believe that a woman or a black man is going to win at this point. I wish it were true. I hope it's true. You know, I mean, that we were willing enough, but I don't see it.
You like Barack?
Yeah, I mean, he's great, but, you know, who did he beat? He beat Alan Keyes. You could have had a cheetah could have run against Alan Keyes. You could have said, oh, we're going to nominate this cheetah. You better, and even you'd listen to Alan Keyes and you'd watch the cheetah in a pen and you'd go, I'd rather watch the cheetah just walk around and listen to Alan Keyes. Who did he beat? He beat nobody. I mean, it's like beating nobody. It was really, that's my disturbance with, I think if you're going to run to be the president, you have to really kind of have a big victory. You know, not a big victory. I don't.
Okay. You don't get it, I know.
I don't get it. Do you?
Governor Vilsack has entered the race.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something with that name, because that just doesn't sound right, does it?
Vilsack?
Sounds like something's wrong with my Vilsack. I don't know where that's located, but I don't want to think about it. Yeah, like a disease or, you know, a part of your body that you don't really deal with, and you don't talk about polite society.
How about on the Republican side, McCain?
Unbelievable, huh? He snapped. He was rolling along for a while. Yeah, now he's got to go talk to, he's got to go shake hands with Jerry. I got to go talk to Jerry Falwell. Why? What? You're Mr. Maverick. You know, you don't need to go kowtowing. You know, eventually, maybe, you know, if you're going to do the whole country when you're running, in the end, he's going to, well, here's what I don't understand with John McCain, who I really like him. I've talked to him. I thought he's been a straight shooter, but how, I don't understand how someone, and I'd love to ask him, how do you deal with, after what happens in South Carolina with Bush, with President Bush and Rove, and they go after his wife, and they say things that are just beyond belief, and then they go after, and they go after Max Cleland, he's in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair. He fights in Vietnam, and you somehow say that he's not, a hero. You actually undermine his credibility as a veteran. He's in a wheelchair. What do you do? Is he like faking it? It's unbelievable. So he goes down there, and I think, he gets whacked by Bush, and then comes around and goes, I'm really in. But why? Wouldn't you? He just didn't seem to maintain the course.
Up next, the comic value of stars like Madonna, Brittany Paris, and let's not forget Tom and Katie.
Oh, boy, that's going to exhaust me.
That's just ahead.
Today, I bring news of an exciting new phenomenon. It's called human reproduction. And it's so amazing that this month's Vanity Fair dedicates 22 pages to a photo spread of its latest result. Her name is Suri. Her parents are Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, and apparently they live in the Sears Portrait Studio.
Are you tired of struggling with embarrassing facial hair? Well, put that tweezer and mirror away, because now it's easy with Tweezy. Tweezy is an amazing breakthrough that not only automatically finds, grafts, and removes unwanted hair, but helps keep hair from growing back for weeks. Guaranteed.
The secret is Tweezy's patented technology that attracts hair like a magnet from every angle, so it's virtually impossible to miss a hair. It's 30 times faster than ordinary tweezers.
And unlike razors or trimmers that cause ugly stubble, Tweezy removes hair from the root, so you can go for weeks without worrying about unwanted hair.
Watch, we used a trimmer on one side of this chin and Tweezy on the other. And look, 6 weeks later, the Tweezy side is still smooth.
There's never been anything like it. If you can feel it, Tweezy can remove it.
I used to use trimmers every day, but I used Tweezy on my lips 6 weeks ago, and it's still smooth.
Sometimes it's hard to see if I got all the hairs on my face. But with Tweezy, I have confidence that all my embarrassing hairs are gone, and it lasts for weeks.
Tweezy is portable, safe, and gentle. Use Tweezy to remove unwanted hair around your chin, lip, underarms, legs, feet, and more. At last, you can have a beautiful bikini line. No more razor burn, no more waxing. Electrolysis is expensive, and plucking takes forever. But Tweezy is easy. You'll never have to worry about unwanted hair again. But wait, call within the next 10 minutes and you'll get MJoy's Hair Growth Inhibitor. Helps leave skin soft and hair-free for weeks. Imagine that's a $60 value, all for only $19.95.
I guarantee Tweezy is the best way to remove unwanted hair for weeks or your money back. Just remember, if it's easy, it's Tweezy. Call now.
Call 1-800-610-4353 to get your Tweezy hair remover for $19.95. Call now and get the bonus hair growth inhibitor absolutely free. That's 1-800-610-4353.
The CNN Hummer has seen a war, an overhaul, and now it tours Army bases before it's auctioned off January 20th to benefit Fisher House. Check out CNN.com Warrior One. This Hummer saw war. Now it will help those who fought it.
CNN's Christiane Amanpour. She covers the world's top leaders and even tracks the world's most wanted man. Now she's after another killer, AIDS. Where have all the parents gone? CNN Saturday and Sunday night, 8 Eastern.
Is oral sex adultery? Yes! There is no discussion! If curling is an Olympic